All right. Shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, the honors the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, as well as the peace and mercy, all right, to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000, and pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right. So in today's class, the lesson at hand, the topic, as you see here, is I will cut off witchcraft out of thine hands. Okay. I will cut off witchcraft out of thy hands. And, going into Babylon, all right, and its high level of witchcraft, and not just Babylon itself, but the Chaldeans, the modern day Chaldeans, starting with Amalek, right? The top ruling class, the bankers, the ones you don't see, going all the way down to, the technocrats of today. Elon, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, so on and so forth. Many, many billionaires. And what we want to do today, right, through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Shem Shai, is get into Isaiah 47 and give you insight and show you how that which is then with Babylon the Great, ancient Babylon, is playing out today with America. Okay, and you can see, if you have the eyes to see, right, the spiritual eyes to see and the ears to hear, you're going to see that Babylon the Great, right, the prophetic Babylon the Great, has to be America. Okay, based upon many things. But right now, in this lesson, we're going to touch on the witchcraft and the whoredoms and the sorceries of Babylon the Great. Okay, Malak, do you have something you want to open up with?
Yeah, quickly because I'm going to read one precept. Right, Revelation 8:23, just one, right? This is the one that's coming to me. Are you getting an echo? I'm getting an echo in my headphone.
No, I don't hear no echo. You're good on my end.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going straight to the point. Right? Without going into it, because we're going to go into it. This is Revelation 18:23, and you know what? I'm going to look at it from the NLT today. Right? But the point there is sorceries, right? And how this power lives and controls the system will be cut off. All right. So let me see if it says it. It doesn't use. Yes, it does. At the end. Revelation 18:23 NLT. It says the of the Lamb will never shine in you again. All right. This is speaking about America when the destruction, the Lord of hosts brings the destruction of the nukes, and also with his visit.
Like, what verse are you at?
23.
Reading 23.
NLT.
Okay, fine.
I'll read it again from the top. The light of the lamp will never shine in you again. The happy voices of brides and grooms will never be heard in you again.
Yep.
For your merchant, take your time.
Your marriages, your parties, your big parties, your and then the light of the lamp going to wisdom.
That's right.
Your so-called your pseudoscience, right, and your wisdom is going to be cut off by Yahweh Shem Shai.
That's right.
Right. All your data analytics, right, all the things we tap into. And Most High is going to cut you off from that, because tapping into left-hand side is just the left hand of the Most High, right? So the Most High still has power over that. And this is what these devils are about to find out, right, in a harsh manner, is that the Most High was in control the whole time. Okay, as the scriptures say, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee.
That's right. That's right. Straight. Second part of the verse, Revelation 20, 18:23, NLT, it says, for you, for your merchants were the greatest in the world. Right? Starting with the invisible elites that the Lord put up there. And his brother mentioned that pray hard on the left side. The spiritual demon Satan.
You know what? I think you are echoing a bit.
Yeah, I'm echoing. Let me just see.
Hold on 1 second. Let me Okay.
Beautiful. Yep, sure. I'm good now. Shalom. Yep.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Revelation 18:23, second part of it, NLT, it says, for your merchants were the greatest in the world. And you deceived the nations with your sorceries. That's the point.
That's right. That's right. And we're about to get into what those sorceries are, right? The parallels of the ancient sorceries and witchcrafts of Babylon the Great versus the modern day sorceries and witchcraft of America, which is Babylon, Egypt, and the spirit. Okay? Spiritually Babylon, spiritually Egypt, which is America. And when you get into those witchcrafts and sorceries of the modern day. So that was it on that, right? You know what? Let me get this here too. Micah, because this is where the title of the lesson came from. Micah 2 and Micah 5, rather, and 12. Okay, Micah 5 and 12. Scared pillar, secret pillar, you'll never again worship the work of your own hand. Watch it. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna read this in NLT. So it says here, Micah 5 and 12 NLT, I will put an end to all witchcraft, and there will be no more future or fortune tellers. I will destroy all your idols and sacred pillars, so you will never again worship the work of your own hands. Right? And of course, the Lord is talking through the prophet Micah to the nation of Israel. But that which is then is now. And, you know, this is now, we're saying this to, the Lord is saying this to Babylon the Great, America. Okay? And it says, I will destroy all your idols and sacred pillars, so you will never again worship the work of your own hands. I will abolish your idol shrines with their Asherah poles and destroy your pagan cities. Okay, America is a huge city. All right, it's a huge city, and it's the biggest pagan city on the planet Earth. That's why the Most High is going to destroy it and make it a wasteland, all right, via thermonuclear fire.
That's right. Which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt.
That's right. So verse 15, I will pour out my vengeance on all the nations that refuse to obey me. And that's the essence of, the Babylonian witchcraft and sorcery is direct defiance of the Most High, because where are they siphoning their power from? Well, who's on the left hand of the Most High? Yahweh Shai. Or sorry, that's Satan. Satan's on the left hand of the Most High. Yahweh Shai is on the right hand of the Most High. So they're siphoning their power, all right, from Satan, right, through, and then they've caused the whole earth, all right, to follow in rebellion towards the Most High through idol worshiping, sorceries, witchcraft, okay? And you might say, well, you might read the scriptures and think ancient witchcraft and sorceries.
All right.
All right, how does that play out to today? Well, we're going to show you how that plays out today. And that which is then is now, man. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And let me send the link to this brother here.
It's a good time. Yeah. Yeah. So you people are going to see, man, that everything that 2/3 of our people have attained is through witchcraft.
Yep. I'm gonna get into it, man. So I'm gonna play this clip. We got 2 clips on deck. First clip here is from this guy here. The truth is, okay. First and foremost, we are not. This is fair use. Okay, we're not using this video to make any money or monetize, or are we monetizing this video? We're just showing this video for educational purposes only. All right, so fair use. And the title of his video here is top level Mason reveals the secret of the craft. Right, you can go watch the whole thing. The whole thing is good. It's about 44 minutes. I've watched it a couple times. It really gives you a breakdown of the whole thing of Freemasonry, the many different degrees and groups and everything else. But I'm just going to play the first 4 minutes of this. He goes into the origins and how they use America as, the patsy. For the NWO, right? America's the patsy for surveillance and everything else. So we'll go ahead and play this clip. We use okay, give me a second here. All right. And let me know if you can hear this.
The Freemasons are a society of secrets that most people in the world have heard of. Most people believe that Freemasonry is just a fraternity, a secret club, if you will, full of...
You can hear it?
Clear. Yep.
Old men who hang out together. If you were to ever ask a Mason what do they do in their lodge, you will most likely be told that Masonry is an organization that helps good men become great men and promotes values like honor, responsibility, and charity. But if
and that's very important to take in. Freemasonry, on a surface level, it tells its members that, you're doing the right thing. Again, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, right? Telling them that you're doing the right thing. This is what you're involved in. It's to help humanity. You're a special person. Your skills can be used to help enhance and better the world and solve all its problems, right? This is basically the narrative that's told to every Freemason, all the way up to certain levels. But, if the Lord allows, we'll also get into today about how information about the total and complete plan, right, of the top wicked elites, the top bankers, the ones you don't see, that information isn't privy for every Mason, okay? So the ones that we see now, like Donald Trump and his billionaire buddies and everybody else, these guys are just front men. That's what they are. They're front men. I like to use the word, they're stooges. I always use that word stooge. A stooge is a comedian's assistant on stage. So that's what these guys are. They're assistants to the comedians and top bankers, the elites you don't see. And the stage is the world, okay? And what they do is, they forward the agenda. So let's go on. Let's continue on here. So the brother joins up.
Masonry was this great organization with such good values. Why is it so secretive? Usually when people operate in secrecy, they do it to hide their nefarious behavior. So if Masonry is the society of honor and charity, what do they have to hide? Well, according to a 32nd degree Mason, Masonry isn't as innocent as it's portrayed. In fact, he revealed why the organization keeps so many secrets in the first place. After watching this video, you will know what Masonry is hiding and what it's truly about. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's episode, we will be talking about an interview a 32nd degree Mason gave exposing the craft. But before we begin, I just wanted to ask you guys to like, comment, and subscribe so we can get this video seen by everyone who needs to see it. I want to thank you all. Now, let's get right into it. No matter what you are told, Freemasonry is one of the most powerful organizations ever created, an old ancient secret society that traces its origins all the way back to the Knights Templars. The Freemasons are the continuation of the Templars.
Really actually goes further back than that. Right? It goes back to the Canaanites. Really, when you go to pre-flood and you get into Genesis 5, the sons of God, they got with the women of the other nations, the sons of God being Israelites. And then when they got with the women of these other nations, they were also worshiping the gods of these women and their other nations, right? And the Lord destroyed everybody but the 8 souls, Noah and his sons and their wives. But who forward pre-flood witchcraft and sorceries in post-flood? Well, Ham and his descendants. Okay, that's why the Lord told us that he was going to wipe out, not to do the things. Actually, let me get that real quick. He told us as we travel in the wilderness and we come upon the land of Israel, which was at that time called the land of Canaan, not to take part in what these people do.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
All their witchcraft and the sorceries, because that's what they were into. Okay, it goes way further back than what he declared there, Knights Templars. So let me get this here. Yes, beautiful. I'll start at verse 9, and I will read this in the NLT. Deuteronomy 18 and 9. In NLT, it says, when you enter the land, your Lord Yahweh, your power, the land the Lord Yahweh, your power, is giving you, be very careful not to imitate the detestable customs of the nations living there. Okay. It says, for example, never sacrifice your sons or daughters as burnt offerings, and do not let your people practice fortune telling or use sorcery to interpret omens or engage in witchcraft. You see? Okay, so showing you that the inhabitants of the land of Israel, which was the land of Canaan, right before it was called the land of Israel, they were into witchcraft and fortune telling. And Esau's witchcraft and divinity or divining all goes back to the Canaanites.
That's right. That's right.
The Canaanites, the Egyptians, and the Babylonians. That's where they siphon all their practices from. Okay.
That's right. That's right. And if you people quickly go into the history of the Canaanites, I was going to say that. The Lord removed them out of the land to put his people in there, which was prophetic.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
Let's go into that actually right now.
Oh, take your time. Take your time.
Yep. So it says, I'll read verse 10 again. For example, never sacrifice your sons or daughters as a burnt offering. Do not let your people practice fortune telling or use sorcery or interpret omens or engage in witchcraft or cast spells or function as mediums or psychics or call forth the spirits of the dead, which is everything our people are into. Okay,
that's right.
Right down to the average Israelite that has no idea what's going on, to your initiated boule. Okay,
or to your dirty Christians, dirty Christians, because you gave praise to the Lord for those wicked things that happen in those Christian churches. And the reason why I'm saying that is, young Ella, you quoted precept at the beginning of this. Sirach 19:22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. And it says, finishing the verse to show that point clearly. It says, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. So there's nothing that these people can tell us, and that's why the scriptures were read earlier on in regards to this sorcery, to run from it, right? Run to the Lord and get His power. Oh yes, just wanted to bring that out, brother. Go ahead, take your time.
Yes, sounds beautiful.
Wow.
So
You were going to go into
hey,
it.
those of you that are watching the live, I know you're saying it's echoing. Now
Just move my phone around.
it's echoing now. Lord willing, it's not. But let me continue on.
Take your
So
time.
Deuteronomy 18 and 11 now. It says, or cast spells or function as mediums or psychics or call forth the spirits of the dead. Anyone who does these things is detestable. Okay, Khan, the water.
Yeah, it's back
Anyone
on.
who does these things is detestable to the Lord Yahweh. It is because the other nations have done these detestable things, right, that the Lord Yahweh, your power, will drive them out ahead of you. Going
Yes,
to
sir.
what you said, Malak, about
Mm-hmm.
it was prophecy
Mm-hmm.
and it was justified for the Lord to give us the Israelites the land of Canaan because they were doing detestable things in that land. So, as it says here, the other nations have done these detestable things that the Lord Yahweh, your power, will drive them out ahead of you, ahead of you. But you must be blameless before the Lord Yahweh, your power. The nations you are about to displace consult sorcerers and fortune tellers, but the Lord Yahweh, your power, forbids you to do such things. Okay?
That's right.
So we're forbidden to do such things. And this is why Yahweh Shai is so important because this whole society, as you're going to see as we get into it, is completely saturated in sorceries, fortune telling, witchcraft, and divining of every sort. All right. The society we're in is completely saturated in that. Right down to the foods we eat, the clothes we wear, the cars we drive, the shoes we wear, everything is saturated in sorceries and witchcraft and idol worship. Okay. So let's continue on to this clip.
Take your time. That's right.
And as we said, it goes further back than the Templars. And America was stolen, right? It was stolen by the Israelites. We were here first, right? Starting with Gad and Reuben and
Edomites.
the northern tribe, the northern kingdom.
Okay.
Okay. Gad, Reuben, Issachar, Ephraim, of course, and everybody else. But it was stolen,
Yep. Edomites. Thieves.
right? Exactly. So it was stolen and used for, because of prophecy, of course, but used as a, what do you call what's the word I'm looking for again? As a base, okay, a hub for
Okay.
witchcraft and
That's fine.
sorceries.
Golden City, America.
Yep, the Golden City.
Shalom Hamakim. Yahweh Bashim Hashabrakatah. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Y'all about Shem Shabbat. Shalom.
No, you've,
Sorry?
no, I just wanted to read this while you're looking for it real quick. Acts 7 and 45. I'll read from 44 because just for the account of these, Canaanites were in there, and this was a prophecy, right? And Stephen got killed for this. Okay. This is Acts 7 and 44. Real quick, it says, our ancestors, I'm reading from the NLT today, 2 verses. Our ancestors carried the tabernacle with them through the wilderness. It was constructed according to the plan of Yehovah Shem Yoshai had shown to Moses, right? And here's 45, Acts 7:45, NLT. Years later, when Joshua led our ancestors in battle against the nations that our power, Yahweh Hashem Yoshai, drove out of this land. Okay, we drove them out, right? And it says the tabernacle
against the nations.
That's right, out of the land, right? And it says the tabernacle was taken with them their new territory, and it stayed until the time of King David.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, they were pushed out. That was there. So it's prophetic, and it literally happened. But anyway, just wanted to share that with our audience. Good. And go into the story and the history, our history, and see it. Anyway, go ahead, brother. That's all I got.
So the land of the free is for the free and accepted Masons. Okay, so everybody else, when they say the land of the free, they're not talking about you average everyday Americans. Okay, the land of the free, as he just said, is for the Masons and the ones that run everything.
That's right. I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No, I can't hear it now. But there's no echo from.
Man, it's always fucking something here now.
Yeah, the prince of the power of the air.
He's doing his job, huh? There's no prudence in it, but he has to do it.
Let me know if you guys can hear this now.
As if the world knew that everyone in power in the government was a Freemason, it would raise suspicion.
You can hear it?
No.
Con. Yep.
Malak, you can hear it, but you can't hear it, Shema?
No, I can't hear it.
Prevents citizens from complying.
I
America
can
is
hear
the
it, I
land
hear
of
it
the free.
now.
But what most people
Okay, fine. All right.
who don't know is that this phrase is rooted in Masonry. The full name of the Freemason organization is the Free and Accepted Masons. The term Land of the Free secretly means the land of the free and accepted Masons. For those that have no idea what the Freemasons do, they chase illumination or enlightenment through occult, esoteric rituals, and ceremonial magic. The Masons operate with a degree system, with each degree containing secrets that are revealed only through rituals. The degrees are laid out in this structure. First, you have the first to the third degree, which is considered the Blue Lodge. Once a member reaches the third degree, they become a Master Mason, and they're able to continue to climb in degrees. This is when Masonry divides its teachings with two different ritual systems, the Scottish Rite and the York Rite. In the York Rite, there are only 10 degrees in which a Mason can climb to, while in the Scottish Rite, they're up to 33 degrees. Scottish Rite is the most powerful sect of Masonry. Even after the 33rd degree, Masons can continue their hunger for illumination by joining organizations like the Order of the Golden Dawn or other Masonic organizations that are above the 33rd.
And all these Masonic organizations are also called NGOs. NGOs stands for non-government organizations. So an NGO is the WEF, World Economic Forum. That's an NGO, but it's also the Masonic Order. Okay, the Council on Foreign Relations. That's also a Masonic order. All these different NGOs are Masonic orders, and they, behind closed doors, do all kinds, take all kinds of drugs and tap into the spiritual realm on the left hand side, and receive all kinds of visions and insight. Okay, as he said earlier, they chase illumination, so they chase knowledge. Okay.
Third degree. Each Masonic ritual teaches a lesson connected to the secrets of occult magic. Masonry at its highest degree is connected to the Kabbalah, which is a form of Jewish mysticism. The Kabbalah is the practice and study of ancient sex magic, which is done to reach illumination. This was actually confirmed by the Sovereign Grand Master General of the Scottish Rite, Albert Pike, who confirmed that Masonry was just another form of the Kabbalah. Now, what most people have probably heard, and for some reason don't believe, is that Masonry secretly is channeling Lucifer for their illumination. While people think this is just a conspiracy theory, that isn't the case at all. Masonry is in fact the channeling of Lucifer as they see him as light. Lucifer literally translates to light bearer. In the Bible, Lucifer is attributed to the serpent, and in the story of Adam and Eve, the serpent offered Eve enlightenment or illumination when he convinced her to eat the fruit from the tree of good and evil.
Now, obviously, he doesn't understand. But as we go to that, you're going to see that the serpent, because here at GMS we teach that the serpent was not an actual snake, okay? It's more so parabolic for a man. And when you go into the word serpent here in Genesis 3 and 1, the serpent, which is a man, was actually a diviner. He was into magic, witchcraft, okay? And basically that's the knowledge that Eve tapped into. That fruit, that forbidden fruit, was the knowledge, okay, parabolically, of good and evil through, sorceries and witchcraft. So that's what the evil is.
100%.
So the word there for serpent, right? The word there for serpent in the Hebrew is na nakah is nakasha. Nakash. Okay? Nakash. And it means when you go into a serpent image of a serpent, but let's get the root word actually. Right? The root word, nakash, it says what? It tells us here to practice divination. Okay? Divine, observe signs, learn by experience, diligently observe, practice fortune telling, take as an omen. Okay? To practice divination. So when Eve met the serpent, guess what she was getting into? Divination. She was practicing divination, fortune telling, right? All manners of wickedness. And Adam got into it as well. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to Job. Okay, go to Job 5.
And this is for you bug outs. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You bug outs at home. We hear a great Muslim when we go into our words. As we were taught, beginning with our elder apostles on down. You bug out Christians like to say it was a literal snake. Right? And the elder is showing you via scripture the root word. Right? It was a man.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Divination was a man. And it says here, Job 5 and 12. All right, King James, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty. Right? Remember in Genesis 3 and 1, it says the serpent was the shrewdest, and this is NLT. Actually, let me get the King James real quick because it uses the same word. So Genesis 3 and 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord Yahweh had created. And he said to the woman, Yea, has Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Now the point here is that the serpent was the most subtle of all the creatures of the field. And this devil, Esau Edom, his physical counterpart, all right, it's just as so. They do everything through what? Gradualism. And from time to time, we go into psyops, psychological operation. Well, what the serpent was doing with Eve was a psyop, a psychological operation. Okay. So anyway, so it says here, Job 5 and 12, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so the crafty is talking about who? Esau, Edom, the modern day Chaldeans, and 2/3 of our people that are joined in hand with them, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And the enterprise is a new world order, okay? Through the way or via the way of the MOTB. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. And the reason why the Most High takes the wise, being Esau, Edom, in their own craftiness, because he controls Satan. So here they are siphoning and summoning demons on the left-hand side to get left-hand side power, insight, and knowledge, and ruling the world. Okay. Most High is in control. Those demons that they summon answer to the Most High. Okay. So it says they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. Okay, this is the case that these people are gonna find themselves in. All right, these modern day sorcerers, prognosticators, and we're gonna get that as well in Isaiah 47. Right, they're gonna find themselves groping in the noonday. Okay, so when right? When they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday. So they're gonna be trying to divine their demons on the left hand side for help, for insight, for answers, and they're not gonna get any help, insight, or answers whatsoever. Okay, so the Most High has cut off your means of communication.
Mhm.
Because the time is up. Remember when Yahushua came on the scene, the demons said to Yahushua, "Have you come to torment us before the time?" You see,
Con.
they know in spiritual
Mhm.
on a spiritual level, the demons know that they have a time to rule and get busy.
That's right.
Okay, when Yahushua came on the scene, they were like, "Yo, you coming to cut us off
So
before
soon.
the set time so soon?" You know what I mean? So now that we're here, all right, we're in the time of them being cut off and Yahushua reigning and ruling on earth. They're going to come down with great wrath. And I'm going to get this next clip, and you're going to see that all these technocrats and you know yeah, well, really all the technocrats, really mainly as scientists and engineers. Hey, they do high level drugs and they see demons and they see the same visions. All right, and it's frightening them. They're seeing it. The top looks at least above them are seeing it because they know that their time is being cut short.
Short.
And verse 15 says, "But he saveth the poor for the sword, from the sword." Okay, he saveth the poor, being the elect, from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty, of the mighty. Okay, again, being the top wicked elites. I'm gonna jump from here. We'll go 2 Thessalonians 2. We get this in NLT, and I'll read from 5 to 10, and it reads here. Don't you remember that I told you about all this when I was with you? And you know what is holding him back, to him being Esau Edom, right? From or for he cannot be revealed for he can be revealed only when his time comes. So what's holding Esau back, or what was holding Esau back, was the Most High, keeping him at bay. But now, all right, he's in the time of him being revealed. First and
That's right.
foremost, through the prophets. Okay. And from the prophets on down, you got the third witness, right? So you got Esau Edom, going in on Esau Edom, doing videos and breaking down all their psyops, and everybody is now on these Amalekites, all right, and understanding that they're behind the cause of basically everything, everything that's um, that has caused evil, has caused a bad time. Even the war in the Middle East. Everybody's looking at the Amalekites as a problem. Okay, so why? Because they're being revealed. It says, "For this lawlessness is already at work secretly, and it will remain secret until the one who is holding it back steps out of the way." Right? Again, the Most High. Let me get this in King James. NLT is on. So King James, it says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of the iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way." Right? And he's about to be taken out of the way. And they're seeing that. All right, these top wicked elites are seeing that, Yahweh is getting ready to send Yahushua to take them out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, right? Starting with the prophets, that's the spirit of his mouth,
Right.
and then as well as the third witness, because the Most High said he will cast his spirit. The spirit of the Most High how's it go again? Slack it. How do you say it again? He said, in Daniel, I will,
Okay. Yeah.
how did it go? I'm drawing a blank.
Says,
Which one? Which one?
I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. There you go.
Okay. Joel and
Oh yeah,
Joel.
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 and
Okay.
it's in Daniel too.
Yeah, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Right. So the Most High is pouring out his spirit upon all flesh. This is why you're seeing everybody fall in line. All right, exposing this devil. All right. So again, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. And we just went into the word Satan. It's talking about that same serpent. Well, we went into the word serpent.
That's right.
Satan, okay, after the working of Satan, these Edomites are the physical counterparts of the spiritual demon Satan. Okay. So that man, the serpent, he had the spiritual demon Satan on him. And what was he all about? He was all about divining, fortune telling, and witchcraft. Okay, so and again, we're gonna show you how the ancient world divining and sorceries and witchcraft is still playing out today in modern times through modern technology. Okay, and Satan will whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Okay, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, right? The Holy Spirit, the covering by Yahweh's blood, and the washing by the water, which is the word. They didn't receive it, so they're going to be taking in these wiles and powers and signs and wonders of the devil. Okay, that they might be saved. Okay, now we're going to jump ahead. Or actually, let me pull this out from chat real quick. And I'll read the first half and get the second half. But I asked it a lengthy question. Okay, a very lengthy question, as you see. And pertaining to Isaiah 47 and 12. So let's read that real quick. So we go to Isaiah 47.
Excellent question.
Right, Isaiah 47 and 12, and this is what? NLT. Yeah, okay, I'm reading NLT. So it says, Isaiah 47 and 12, it says, now use your magical charms. Use the spells you have worked at all these years. Okay? Maybe they will do you some good. Maybe they can make someone afraid of you, as they used to. Okay? All the advice you received has made you tired. Where are all your astrologers? Right? Because Babylon is full of astrologers, stargazers, right? And who make predictions each month. Let them stand and save you from what the future holds. So the future holds, what does the future hold? It holds America being destroyed by thermonuclear fire. So your scientists, your top engineers, right? Your health officials, your technocrats, let them all save you from the Most High's judgment. Let them all save America from the Most High's judgment and destruction upon America through their data analytics, right? And even through the left-hand side, because them demons are not going to help them in that day. Them demons know what's up?
Mhm.
All right.
That's right.
They're like double agents. Okay. They know that they have a time to rule, and then they have a time where they're going to be in subjection under Yahushua and the 144 of the nation of Israel, right, for eternity. But their physical counterparts, they're not aware of all that. Or rather, they're aware of it, but yet they're going to fight against it nevertheless, even though they're aware that's prophecy. That's why the scripture says, again, the pride of thy heart has deceived thee. So it says, but they are like straw burning in a fire. They cannot, verse 14, they cannot save themselves from the flame. You will get no help
Help.
from them at all. Their hearth is no place to sit for warmth. So you're not going to get help from Babylon, man. No form of pseudoscience from these technocrats and modern day stargazers and prognosticators are going to help you from the judgment of the Most High. Okay, you're not going to find comfort in his science and his knowledge.
Right.
All right, so this next clip here is from the Tucker Carlson show network. Okay, so fair use, fair use, fair use. We're not using this video to make any money from this video. None of the channels on this panel are making money from this video. This is fair use, fair use, fair use. We're only showing this for educational purposes only. And the title of this video here says, every tech billionaire is having the same haunting vision. Okay?
That's
And this
right.
guy's a demonologist. He's a demonologist. Demonologist explains why. All right. So
What was interesting about Nick Land is that they keep getting the same ideas. These guys take drugs, whether it's Elon, Nick Land, or even in the 70s, the scientist John C. Lilly. John C. Lilly was an eminent scientist, brilliant dude. He started doing ketamine, the same drug. Everyone does in Silicon Valley. And when they do this drug, and even if you're an atheist materialist, this is still interesting. They all get the same idea, which is that the machines are, coming. It's like Skynet and Terminator. They're coming together. They're evolving to eventually take over, and that we are hanging ourselves with the rope we're currently building by building this. But this goes back. Nick Land was interesting, but he became less interesting to me when I realized that other scientists in the 70s, John C. Lilly, the movie Altered States from 1980, his horror movie. This is about.
Obviously, you guys can hear this, right?
Clear.
Con.
He would have these visions about the machines. He called them the solid state entities. He would have this in the 70s, Tucker, in this tank. The isolation tank he'd go in. And you probably haven't seen it, but the new Mission Impossible movie, Tom Cruise, he fights this AI and he goes in the isolation tank and he has these visions of it. One of the biggest movies of this past summer. And that plot point comes from John C. Lilly and the visions he would get of AI apocalypse in the isolation tank back in the 70s. So I bring this up to say Nick Land is the foremost proponent of it that has a public name, even though he's not that famous right now. But this goes back a long time, at least back to the 70s.
So people take ketamine and they all have the same vision. Or species of the same vision.
Enough of them do to make it very strange and alarming. That's the thing that one of the main influences on both the show I was building and these guys, Brian Geisen, William S. Burroughs, his creative partner, he would say the thing is about getting high and about doing psychedelics is that, you can spot people, eventually who are on the same drug and you're both getting the same ideas. Some drugs, he said, increases telepathy, it puts them on the same wavelength. So with a lot of these guys,
it's a little weird that different people from different places, different countries, different life experiences would take a drug and have the same kind of vision.
It's totally weird. And for anyone who's
that can't be organic.
No. But that is weird beyond what anyone's individual personal beliefs are. So
exactly.
So if anyone tunes in and like, where did Tucker find this guy?
Well, it's just a spirit. It's just prophecy. All right. They're getting the same. They're doing many different people from many different countries of these technocrats are doing drugs, psychedelics, and they're getting the same visions and seeing the same demons. But the time is up.
Con. Can I bring this out real quick?
Go ahead,
Job 15 and 21 in the NLT. It reads, the sound of terror rings in their ears. And even on good days, they fear the attack of the destroyer. Con, these elites, they're in their heaven, they're in their prosperity, they're in their good days, and now they're getting all these omens, right? They're in great fear.
That's right.
Beautiful. Real quick, I look up the word earth. Lord, poetic justice to his prophets. Real quick, I'll just say it. It says earth, H-A-R-T-H. It says fireplace floor, part of the floor on which the fire is made. The scripture says there's no floor.
Are you looking at etymology or?
End of line. So that burning, man, it's coming to the straw man. You know, there's no foundation. There's no escape. He was being what would you say, comical to the destruction that's coming. People. No, you're going to be burning like crazy. Hey, that's why the elect is going to be looking from the sea of glass. Nothing can stand. The Lord's fire is going to be just terrible. That's all I wanted to bring out, man. No,
and you see how beautiful the spirit of the Lord is. These men are taking hallucinogens, and they're all having the same premonition, the same visions. They're bugging out.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe it'll help a little bit, huh? So the scripture says, yeah, your sorceries, huh? That's it, brother. Go ahead, man.
The sound cut out, Zaquan.
Sound cut out?
Yeah, Khan.
Yeah, it cut out.
Okay.
I know, I just wanted to come out. Wow.
Okay. Let me know if he doesn't hear it now.
No. But that is weird beyond what anyone's individual personal beliefs are. So
Clear,
exactly.
clear.
That's So if anyone tunes
Clear? Con.
in and like, where did Tucker find this guy that looks like Greg Olson talking about insane AI stuff? If they're an atheist, they don't believe any of this. Like you're saying, the fact that people are taking these drugs and they're very powerful and they work in tech and they are getting the same ideas, the same fears. They think in some cases they're talking to the same entities. There are books now about if you take DMT, if you encounter this machine elf, be wary of this. They're encountering the same stuff. That's an interesting phenomenon, just biologically, regardless of what people.
Like ancient sacred art has the same images, created on different continents at different periods. They couldn't have had contact with each other. So why are they drawing the same Birdman or the same purse? Because they're seeing the same visions, which suggests that those visions are real.
Why is snake worship universal around the world?
Exactly.
Serpent worship.
Exactly. Because there's something that people are responding to that.
You see what he said? Why is snake worship universal around the world? So that goes back to what we brought out in Genesis. The serpent with Eve. Okay.
It's not coming from within them, but outside of them.
That was Carl Jung's main insight is that getting to the idea of can ideas come from without you and not just within you. So yeah.
Well, yeah, and the materialist doesn't want to admit that, and our culture has, since we dropped the atom bomb, has sort of written off the possibility that could be true, but it's just reconnecting with something that every civilization has always assumed was true, which is there's a spiritual realm that's every bit as real as your iPhone or this desk, and it's absolutely real, and it acts on us all the time, and that is the truth.
Yeah.
And I know you seem to take that for granted, but it's still shocking to those of us who grew up in, basically a godless country. It's
totally. I mean, one of the basis for my interest in a lot of this is, my mom was raised in a Christian home. I consider I'm a Christian myself, and my mom would always say, she became a Christian in the 70s, but she knew all the psychedelic groups back in the 60s. Love, Spirit. She and my mom would go to Doors shows and all those groups in the late 1960s. And something that she'd say, and that people who are rock and rollers into the occult would say, that they both say the same thing, which is that people take drugs, musicians do, for inspiration, for creativity, to tap themselves into the spiritual realm, to pull something from outside themselves. So the basis for my interest in a lot of this stuff was that's something my mom says. My mom's a great Christian, one of the all-time greats. And this is something that, every musician knows too. That's why they take drugs, is to tap into the spiritual.
So I didn't know that. I thought that people took drugs. I mean, I took drugs. Control,
yes.
And that it can you can bring stuff into you.
Right.
That has control over you.
Right. Totally. And, to bring this back into some.
So we're talking about demons. You can bring things into you that have control over you. Right? Those are spirits.
Yeah.
And you see that he talked about how musicians take drugs, which we knew this, right? They tap into the spiritual realm. So how much more these technocrats? And he also mentioned how these technocrats all seeing the same demons, and they have like books. If you see this demon, this is what you should do. This is drug you should do. So they have books and manuals of how to basically sidestep the demons or escape demons, the vision that they're seeing, because they're seeing horrifying visions, man.
Historical precedents. A good question that people have asked me are, what are the precedents for this? Because this is really weird to think of people in tech, who are into strange AI stuff. I thought everyone was pretty grounded. But if you look at, are you familiar with the story of Jack Parsons over at,
Please tell the story if you don't mind.
I'll do a succinct one. Jack Parsons, grew up in Pasadena.
That's basically it. I just wanted to show that. Now, you get this out here in chat. So that lengthy question I asked, and it says here, concerning Isaiah 47, 12 and 13, it says, these verses mock the so-called wise men of Babylon. They're scientists, diviners, and occult advisors who relied on forbidden knowledge to control people, predict fate, and sustain empire. Now we'll trace how those same archetypes appear in modern systems, right? So when you look here, it says, number one, the ancient archetype, Babylon's spiritual technocrats. So you have the prognosticators, description in Babylon. The prognosticators were fortune tellers using signs, celestial movements, and omens. Spiritual purpose, control over time and destiny, manipulated decisions of kings, right? Just to give you a little bit of history of what they did back then. Astrologers and stargazers interpreted heavenly bodies to predict events, right? Stars, right? Hence the zodiac. Spiritual purpose, mimicked divine relation through alternative knowledge. Okay, now we'll skip down. I just want to get a little bit of that. Or let me read the enchanters. Enchanters and sorcerers use charms, chants, and potions, right? And potions goes into pharmakia. Okay, so your pharmaceuticals, your foods, and so on and so forth. Influence emotions and minds, maintain spiritual dependence. Now, when we go down, number 2, it says, the modern parallel, today's technocratic and political priest. It says, ancient type, prognosticators, modern counterpart. So the ancient type was prognosticators, the modern counterpart was economists, data modulars, think tank forecasters, right? So your thinking tanks were like basically global oracle houses. They're global oracle houses. Okay. When you read here, it says function today, predict social trends, social markets, and crises to guide government and corporate actions, modern omens from algorithms, astrologers and stargazers, modern day astrophysics, futurists, and transhumanists.
Wow.
Seek knowledge from the heavens, space explorations, AI intelligence to unlock immortality or godhood, hence transhumanism. You see? Sorcerers and enchanters, okay, ancient type, sorcerers and enchanters, modern counterpart, propaganda engineers, media specialists, behavior specialists, or scientists, use imagery, sound, digital hypnosis, and information warfare to enchant the masses, like C. Kirk, okay, Captain Kirk. All right, that happened. So and that psyop enchanted the masses, and now you're seeing the fruits of that enchantment by the way of what? Surveillance, the enemy within. Okay. So it says here, priests of Bel and Nebo, technocrats.
Okay.
The ancient priests of Bel and Nebo in Babylon are the modern day technocrats, global policymakers, WEF, UN, etc. Craft narratives, policies, and visions for future humanity under the guise of saving the planet or improving mankind, right? Through the chip. Let's see. I want to get all of this here in chat. Okay, I'm gonna read verse number 3. It says, "Modern enchantments, technological sorcery, and physiological control.
Mm-hmm.
Just as Babylon used spells and rituals to control the masses, today's world uses technological enchantments to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
These are the new sorceries of Mystery Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
Modern day sorceries, media and digital propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Description, algorithm shaping thoughts, perception, and emotion. And it says biblical parallel. By thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Revelation 18 and 23. Exactly.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's right.
Technology, right? The phone, Instagram, all these different platforms, right? Social media platforms,
Wow.
right? So
Wow.
it says modern sorcery, narrow chemical manipulation.
Wow.
Narrow chemical manipulation. Description, drugs, antidepressants, and this is not medical information. We are not giving any medical information. Okay.
Just reading.
So the description, drugs, antidepressants, psychedelics used to open the mind. Neither, it says biblical parallels. The biblical parallels are neither
Repented.
repented they of their sorceries. Revelation 9 and 21.
Yep. Yep.
So Chess giving you the precepts even.
Yep.
Straight.
It says
Straight.
predictive algorithms, modern day sorcery, predictive algorithms and data divination. AI systems foresee, and then the description, AI systems foreseeing outcomes influencing human behavior. Biblical parallel. Let now the astrologers stand up and save thee, Isaiah 47 and 13. Right? Modern day sorcery, transhumanism, and merging man with machine. Description, attempt to overcome morality to be as gods.
Yep.
Right? This man's fighting.
Yep.
This man's fighting for his birthright. He's trying to get his birthright back.
Yep.
And look at that. Genesis 3 and 5. Daniel 2 and 43. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. Khan. That's heavy. Because Israel is going to mingle themselves with the seed of men, right, today. Through what? Through the Sihip. Ultimately, that meant, Israel doing that by sleeping with their women, right? Like in Nehemiah, where the men slept with the women of the heathens, Genesis 5, and served their gods. But you can also link that spiritually to what? The Sihip. Israel's going to be mingling with the nations through the Sihip as well. Modern day sorcery, mass surveillance, and social engineering. Description, behavioral prediction through data. Micah 2 and right. Micah 2 and 1 to 2. Daniel 8 and 25. Craft and deceit prosper. Okay, now this is the part I wanted to end off on and get is number 4. It says psychedelics, spirit science, and communication with other realms. Okay. Ancient Babylon. The Chaldeans used hallucinogens, incantations, and sacred rites to open gateways for spiritual contact with, for spiritual contact what Scripture calls familiar spirits.
Mhm.
Leviticus 19 and 31, Isaiah 8 and 19. They believed visions through trance state were communications with divine beings. And that's true, because remember, the prophets, they would oftentimes go into a trance when they got visions on the right-hand side via angels or Yahushua or the Most High. Okay? And they oftentimes, after they came out of those trance, they were sick. Okay? And the things they saw were horrifying. They oftentimes, what did they see? The destruction of America, nuclear fallout, violence, bloodshed, so on and so forth. So on the left-hand side, it's being done, all right, the same thing is being done through these technocrats and scientists and so on and so forth. But they're seeing visions that are showing that their time is up, that they're going to be destroyed. Okay? So it says, in truth, demons are masquerading as gods or spirits of wisdom.
Right. In a trick bag.
Exactly.
That's right.
And it says modern equivalent. Okay, so the modern equivalent to what they were doing in ancient Babylon today is today many scientists, engineers, and elites experiment with DMT, ayahuasca. I don't know what the hell kind of drug that is, but LSD, psilocybin to access higher consciousness or align or alien intelligence, which we know the aliens are really the angels. Okay, quantum mysticism and machine consciousness, claiming AI or aliens can connect humans to a cosmic mind. Okay, these guys, these devils, man, they're trying to, again, this is their counterfeit way of establishing the blessing that they gave up, basically. Right? And that blessing that they gave up was really in the spirit. It was not theirs. Esau's Edom's blessing that Jacob supplanted him of was really his, was really Jacob's in the spirit. That's why it played out that way. As it says here, CERN type experiments. And CERN is what? It's a particle accelerator. Okay, so CERN type experiments probing the fabric of creation, paralleling the Tower of Babel, Genesis 11, attempt to breach heaven. You see, so they're trying to breach a spiritual realm and take control and be God through the left-hand side.
Yep.
Okay. These experiences parallel the same demonic channels Babylon priests used to open spiritual portals under scientific disguise, while Isaiah 47 and 3 exposes that, or sorry, Isaiah 47 and 13, Isaiah 47 and 13 exposes that this secret knowledge will fail them when judgment comes. You see?
That's
So
right.
all the divining and the drug taking that they do to tap in on the left-hand side and siphon all these powers and whatever, right? The Most High is going to cut it all off. It's just going to stop.
That's
and
right.
Before it stops, they're going to see visions of them being tormented by the Israelites.
That's right.
And then it's going to stop. That's why the scriptures say this man knows he has a short time. On top of that, he's seeing the chariots in the heavens, in the skies. Okay, and then he sees us day in and day out, cursing him out. You know, so all of it is coming down on him. Okay.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 17.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, that's where we're about to go into.
I
We're
know.
about to get there.
Take your time. Take your time, brother.
Yeah, we're about to go there right now. That's actually what I'm going to end off on. Wisdom of Solomon 17, because that's a perfect precept going into what happened in Egypt and how that plays out today.
Can I bring this out real quick, Abakasha?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Just to land back what you just said. Job 14 and 5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. You are on the Lord's time.
That's right.
Okay, so
And putting out this narrative. Oh, we're tapping into the aliens, and we got this particle accelerator, right? We're tapping in. You can't listen. The Lord, you can't do what the Lord. You can't listen. Only the elect are tapped into the Spirit.
Yeah, you didn't send in the memo.
Well, but see, the thing is, the left-hand side is temporal. It's not eternal. So even though you're able to tap in, you're only able to tap in for a time. Once the Heavenly Father sends His Son Yahweh Shai down, the whole full elect are going to receive bodies that are going to give them eternal spiritual power.
That's right.
On all levels, forever.
Ever.
That's right. Possess the kingdom. Forever and ever.
That's right. Possess the kingdom. Yeah. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 17, and again, we start at verse 6, and this is in the GNT. So Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 6 in the GNT says, there was only a dreadful fire lit by no human hands that shone on them, and in their terror they believed that the real world was even worse than the things that they imagined.
Wow.
The king of terrors.
That's it, man. That's it. And it says, verse 7, the illusions produced by their magic tricks were put to shame. And all the technology, right? The AI, that's an illusion. That's a magic trick that produces illusions, right? So AI, everything, all the technology, everything they use to perform, all the magic tricks that they use to perform illusions are going to be put to shame when the Lord, cuts them off. It says, and all their wisdom they had boasted of came to nothing. They had claimed they could drive away all the fears and illnesses of sick minds, but now they themselves were sick with silly groundless fears. See?
And today,
actually, Slaki, I was going to say, the reason why these fears were groundless and silly is because the fears that they were given are fears in their mind. They're not actually even playing out in real life. The Most High is just getting them in their imagination. All right, go ahead.
Khan. Yeah, I was just gonna say. They claim to be able to cure the sickness of the mind. Today, that's their medical technology. Oh, we can cure paralysis. We can cure brain issues. We can make women have children again. All kind of shit. They boast in.
Blind can see, deaf can hear.
Blind can see. Yeah.
Right? Counterfeit miracles. And it's funny because the scriptures say what? Their technology is going to cause a sores, right?
That's right.
They're promising all of this through the sea hip. That's what they're going to promise that through the sea hip. And that sea hip is going to give everybody who takes it sores. Okay, so it says, even though nothing dangerous had actually happened, they were terrified by hissing snakes and animals advancing on them. And so they died, shaken with fear, afraid even to open their eyes, yet unable to keep them shut.
Mhm.
There's a little green man in the room.
Yo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yo, so some people died because they were too afraid to open their eyes, and some of them died with their eyes open because they were too afraid to close them.
Mm-hmm.
Close it. Yeah. Oh, I know a lady once that sleep with the lights on. But anyway,
Yeah.
she's not with us anymore.
She's infested with demons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me get here this in Nahum 3.
Mm-hmm.
Nahum 3 and 4. All right. And it says, and this is NLT. It says, all this because Nineveh, the beautiful and faithless city, mistress of deadly charms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nineveh being spiritually America and prophetically America. All this because Nineveh, the beautiful and faithless city, mistress of deadly charms, enticed the nations with her beauty. She taught them all her magic,
Mm-hmm.
enchanting people everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how did Nineveh, being America today, prophetically and spiritually, teach all the people everywhere her magic is through technology?
Mhm.
Everybody has a phone.
Yep.
Okay. Everybody has a phone. Okay. Most people use all kinds, the same different social media platforms that are here in America and Canada, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, right? So that's the modern day way of what was happening in the ancient world with all these various cities, major cities like Egypt, Babylon, and Nineveh, Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. It says, I am your enemy, says the Lord Yahweh of heaven's armies, and now I will lift your skirt and show all the earth your nakedness and shame. That's what's being happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with the prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shai. I will cover you with filth and show the world your how vile you really are. All who see you will shrink back and say, Nineveh lies in ruins. Where are her mourners? Does anyone regret your destruction? It's going to be a question because using why it's going to be a question because everybody's going to look at the destruction of America and, people are going to be happy at the same time, but at the same time, they're also going to be upset. The top wicked elites of these other nations are going to be upset because they've made lots of money off of the consumerism of Americans.
That's right.
Okay,
They're sorceries.
That's right. That's it. That's it for me. That's all I got.
I just have one precept just to continue off. I brought out it was Sirach. Actually, I went to the precept that you quoted at the beginning, so I just wanted to read the one underneath it. It would be verse 23, I believe. So 19 and 23, if you could go there, Babkasha. And that's all I have there. Right? We read 20. 23.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, there is a wickedness and the same an abomination. And there is a fool wanting in wisdom. Now, that fool we know goes back to Esau. All right. And then 2/3 of our people. Right. The reason why I bring that out, simply put, is that there's no prudence to scripture declare in whatever they're doing, no matter how fanciful it looks. It's just complete sorcery. Starting, we talked about Christianity and so forth like that, and the elites and so forth like that. So, simply put, man, there's nothing in this. It's a complete abomination. Revelation 13:1. That's right. This system is all about, right? Going all the way back, and brother brought up those precepts that go all the way back to the garden.
That's right.
Yeah, and I'll just read 25 for the record real quick. It says, there's an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust, excuse me. That's, unjust, it's Old English. Verse 25, and there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment. Simply put, right?
Mhm.
So we know who that wise man in judgment is. Bring that to pass. Okay, the judgment of that great system. Okay, the end of it. Yahweh Shem Yoshai bringing great judgment to it, and we're in it and watching it go down. That's all I'm gonna. That's all I got, brothers.
Beautiful. All right. So that's it, man. I will cut off witchcraft out of your hand, right? That's what the Most High is saying to Babylon the Great. And hopefully, you can see how ancient witchcraft and sorceries play out today in modern day world, right? Through the technology of social media, a screen, a phone, right? Their data, the analytics,
Mhm.
so, all of that. It's all the modern day version of the ancient world sorceries and witchcraft. So when the Most High is cutting it out of their hands, this is why they're getting terrible visions, man. And this is why they're losing hope, right? They're losing mind. They're getting chaotic, okay? And the scripture says he's going to come down with great wrath, right? Knowing that he had a short time. So, yeah, man, Lord willing, this lesson was straightforward and edifying to the hopeful elect, to the nation of Israel. We're going to close by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Bashem, Yoshai, Bashem, Kodash.
Double honors the apostles, bishops, and others of great millstone who rule well and have taught his word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right? Allah, and shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom to the hopeful elect.